Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Doze, and on this episode we are going to be reviewing the 5th issue of Doctor Strange. In a previous video that came out a few days ago, we did attempt this review before, but we were interrupted by some breaking news that had just apparently had to be spoken about right at that moment. Faz was very excited, and as were we, about some Queen in Black news. But we are finally getting around to Doctor Strange number 5, the capstone, the end of this first little arc that we've gotten from Derek Landy's Doctor Strange. And boy, howdy, was it a fantastic end to this first story. Now, Faz, you did get first crack at the other episode, and you did interrupt Eric. So we're going to let Eric finish his thought now. And we'll let him get the first salvo at Doctor Strange, and then the talking stick will be handed to you, and we can hear your first impression of Doctor Strange number 5. Fair enough? As we arbitrate these rules that I'm making up on the spot. Eric, what do you think of Doctor Strange number 5?
Yeah. Works for me. All right, let's hear it. Doctor Strange, this is an ongoing, right? This is number 5 in the new relaunched ongoing. It reads like a mini, right? But it's not a mini series. It has a fantastic, coherent plot where I love the term capstone. It's really capping off this segment of Strange and his misadventures throughout the 9 realms cut off from Midgard. And so we've got some fantastic character development. We've got some action. We've got some conclusions. And we have some threads that are going to be left to pull on later, perhaps. Who knows? But it does feel like a really nice combination of a closure with also a lot of different paths that could take us forward, as this is not a mini that's ending. It is just the Doctor Strange ongoing book.
We're just for the record, we're really excited about it being the ongoing, because not only do we get more Asgard, but we also get more Asgard as written by Derek Landy. And it's some of my favorite Asgard that's been written in the last few years. So it's been really fun to cap this off. And I agree with Eric. We got so many places we could go from here. Faz, what did you think about Doctor Strange number 5? You were the first one in our group chat to be like, this freaking rocked. So what?
I always read the books first, because my comic book store is 30 seconds away from my work, and I can walk over and grab it when necessary. So I do have that advantage. This book was awesome. It had everything that I wanted in it. It's continuing the kind of anime style that we've been getting in a really fun way. And it's also an interesting point in the book where you can be done with Asgard if you wanted to be. And you could now go back to Midgard knowing that you've accomplished what you had to do. But I hope they stick around for a while in Asgard, because like you said, Landy's he puts in taverns, he puts in the regular town. Like, it's not just the crown and the royal stuff. We get more real life salt of the earth Asgard. And it's really cool to kind of get glimpses into what 99% of the Asgardians live like. So I'm loving all of it. And anytime that we get more Angela is great. I'm on a real Angela kick right now, because we're rereading Jason Aaron's Thor in the Deific Duo's Journey into Mystery: Road to 800. Listeners and viewers. And if you guys want to read with us, we're doing Jason Aaron right now. It's awesome. Get in there. Angela's there every so often. You're cordially invited by the All-Fazer of Fazgard to read those books along with Eric and follow us along when we do those issues. But this is anytime we build out Asgardian lore, I'm there for it. And anytime we get to have some fun Stephen Strange stuff, I'm there for it. And anytime that Derek Landy's just cracking jokes and having a good time, and Yvonne Ferrelli's out there dominating the art, we're pretty lucky, man. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Listener, if you do not know what an All-Fazer of Fazgard is, I suggest you go back and check out the Deific Duo's Journey into Mystery: Road to 800. Did I get it right for this? Fine.
That's right.
That's right.
Fine.
For once. Another recurring bit. Now, listeners and viewers, we are working on putting the back issues onto YouTube and making kind of little playlists for them, so you can read there, you can listen to the whole Deific Duos part, and eventually you'll see videos of us too. But everything's also on wherever you get your podcasts. So if you want to kind of see earlier versions of us, where a lot of the inside jokes and where a lot of the stories come from, you can go back through our catalog and listen to anything you're interested into. If you want to read every issue of Thor like we are, you can start at the first one we did, and they're all nicely labeled on our list. You can see what Eric and I think about every era of Thor, because we've only got like 50 issues left, and we will have done them all. And then we'll lord it over everybody that we are the most well-known Thor people, and you could be too.
We've discovered playlist technology. Can you believe it? It's going to make it so much easier.
In the year of our Lord,
Oh
2026.
my gosh. It feels like just yesterday that we hadn't figured out playlists, and now we're like, we are the illuminated now, Eric.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
That's right.
But yeah, this issue was fantastic. So let me give you a brief little synopsis for it, and then we will toss we will toss the orb around, and we will tell you what we thought of Doctor Strange #5 in more detail. So this issue is written by Derek Landy. We have Ivan Fiorelli art, which is, again, like Faz said, I'm loving this so much. I believe it was Eric made this comment a few issues ago that it almost has a Batman Beyond like feel to it a little bit, where the characters are drawn just in a refreshing way, to be honest. And the rest of the team is back. Alex Horley is doing another great cover. We have Corey Pettit from VC on the letters. And this issue picks up right where we left off in issue 4. The Scythe army of Vyrbodin is heading towards the Nine Realms to take out all the children. Yep, real uplifting plot where Vyrbodin, this evil dark elf sorcerer, he just wants to kill a bunch of kids, and that is not going to work for Doctor Strange or Angela. They are locked in their own one-on-one fights where Doctor Strange is facing off against Vyrbodin, and they have a magic fight back and forth, and then Angela is locked in a one-on-one fight with I don't even know what to call her yet, because it's Riala, the daughter of the Queen Regent of Heaven, but also mixed now with the Dark Scythe potential version of her. So she even says in the issue, she does not know really what she is yet. We don't really get a lot of answers on that front. But in the Vyrbodin Doctor Strange fight, we are shown a side of Vyrbodin that I did not expect to get, to be perfectly honest, guys, where he starts to reason with Strange once Strange threatens to open up the orb that we found a few issues ago. And Vyrbodin says, I will call off my Scythe army if you don't open that. Like, nothing good's going to come from that.
He also couldn't remember why he didn't want it open, right? So he used his forgetting magic on himself,
so
which is
a lot
crazy.
of like panels that I was reading, I was like, what? I didn't see that really going that route. And Strange makes a deal with Vyrbodin to call off the attack, and then he chains him up magically just as Angela and Riala are getting done with their fight, where they have a very emotional fight, because Riala is like, part of me is still the person you grew up with and the one that accepted you. And Angela says, accepted me? I had to earn every single comfort and kindness you guys eventually gave me. So no, we do not, like, there's a really strong memory theme throughout this issue. People remembering things differently, people not remembering things at all. And the Angels have a little bit of a crack at Vyrbodin as he is tied up magically for Steven, and they're only done beating the crap out of him because they're bored, which is, I found hilarious. We also one thing I buried the lead, guys. Gallifreyon and the Hierophants show up to.
I can't believe you did that.
I was so obsessed with the other fights, but Gallifreyon shows back up, who is one of our favorite characters that came into the story in issue 2. But all the good guys at the end of the issue, they start to fly off to their own different places. The Angels go back to heaven, and they have Vyrbodin with them. But they also feel like something is coming. And when Angela asks Strange about what happened with Vyrbodin, he says that he doesn't even remember all of what the deal they made or what is coming. So lot of questions answered, but even more interestingly, new questions that Landy is throwing into this story. So, Eric, I see you raring and ready to go. So, where do you want to go first? I did.
You see my
several
eyebrows
times.
dancing over here as I
great.
get a thought in my head. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the end. So first of all, I really like the narrative mechanism that having characters forget things is playing. It's so simple, but it's like, I don't know. I find it refreshing. I don't think that is overused. I don't think it's a trope. I think it's actually kind of interesting to have a character be like, something bad's going to happen, but I don't remember why I can't do this thing. It's like, it's a really short path to have an action happen, because it's like, oh, don't open the orb, whatever you do. I am willing to call this whole attack off just so that you don't open it, but I don't remember why.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just find that interesting. I think it works. I also love in this issue, Strange has all of his magic tech, right? His artifacts. So we have this broadsword. He actually cuts Vyrbodin's head off, and Vyrbodin just puts it right back on. So we're realizing that not so simple to dispose of him. You can't just slice his head off. And when the angels just go to town, just turning them into hamburger meat, presumably, it just doesn't take, because he's magic and he's fine. He reminds me a little bit of, obviously he reminds me a little bit of Malekith, right? Because he's a dark elf, he's magic. So there's those obvious parallels. But the fact that at the end of the issue he's like sort of untouchable reminds me of when Malekith became the king of the elves. He was politically untouchable. You couldn't just go kill him, because he had this like plot armor, and in addition to that, he had this like
diplomatic immunity.
And so now that they've struck this deal, Vyrbodin has this sort of immunity of, you can't touch me, and I'm, he's probably not going to stay in the jail in heaven. And probably because he's just such a cool character, they're going to bring him out, 12 issues from now and have him do some more shenanigans. So really cool stuff. Gallifron, our faceless freaky buddy, he's so cool. We don't know that much about him still. He just tugs at your heartstrings. There's something about him.
It's such a badass design too.
He's like a good guy Dementor is what he looks like.
He's a good guy Dementor.
Kind of with a little bit of like Ring Wraith from Lord of the Rings tied in there. Pretty badass.
Yeah.
Baz, what was something from the issue that really stood out to you, and you feel like we should kind of tease that thought out a little bit?
Well, a couple things. Firstly, again, crazy art. Yvonne, man, like the backgrounds, the number of people on these shots, like the positions they're in, the things they're doing, like, are you okay? Please blink twice if you're being overworked, locked in a cave like they do to Dan Mora, because this is
your
crazy.
Wrist cramping up? Do your wrist exercises, because we gotta keep you in good shape.
We gotta protect you, man, because this is like exceptional stuff. It's incredible, especially all the different types of Doctor Strange magic. And listeners, the reason why Doctor Strange can do that is because he subscribes to us on Patreon, and he understands all the different details about being a sorcerer by getting into our Patreon. And if you want to be like Doctor Strange and support what we do here, and if you like what we do here, for as little as $5 a month, you can join the Thor Corps, and you can become a patron here, and you can have a bunch of benefits. And it's a great time, highly recommended. If you guys are interested, we'd love to have you. Even your listener and your view, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, everything you can. Helps us a lot. Engage with our shorts. Message us on Instagram. We'll respond. Ryan loves you.
For the record, engage our shorts on YouTube.
Okay, anyway.
I just wanted to specify that.
But
engage with our shorts.
Engage with our shorts on YouTube. And if you want to comment on my trunks on any of the cosplay photos, it does help the engagement.
He's doing a series called Hunks and Trunks. It's going to be fantastic.
The other thing I wanted to mention is kind of this next step of our reality Dark Daughter thing.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, like how she's kind of like this melancholic, like I'm both. I don't really know what I am. I have all the memories, like I can feel the stuff. I'm ready to be judged by you angels and I'll accept your judgment. And Angela's just like, well, I'm mad at you, so I'm going to hit you really hard because she is Odin's daughter after all. and we'll get there eventually, but today is not that day. And I love what we're doing with
It does
her,
feel like
too.
there is a long game with Angela being teased that
Angela's ending this series as queen. It's happening.
If she doesn't, I feel like that might be a missed opportunity. But yeah, no, it definitely feels like it's forecasting in that direction. I forget that her full name is not Angela. Her full name is Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that showed up in the issue, I was like, oh, right, duh. Angela's not her real name. But no, I agree with you, Faz. I think we are ending this series with her as at least the regent, like, if not the rightful queen of.
I mean, she's already the rightful queen, right? So she has to just accept
that title.
She has to accept the role,
for herself, because no one's really stopping her. She's stopping her.
So is she going to be the queen of the angels, or what? Is she going to be the queen of Asgard? Because in Thor right now, we are getting all new regents and leaders of all the different realms, and why not shake it up and have Angela be the queen?
I think heaven, because I don't think Asgard's going to have a leader when this is all said and done. I think it's going to be more like a democracy of some sort, because that's how Al Ewing would prefer it would be. Yeah,
an all thing where maybe they have somebody that they elect.
Or maybe like straight up Athenian style, when everybody in Athens gets a vote and they make decisions that way.
Like a League of Realms, perhaps.
No, it's one realm.
Oh, sorry to make it
League of Asgard.
Anything but that, actually.
We already plugged Jason there.
I will never give up an opportunity to talk about that man. It will be interesting to see how I hadn't really thought about that we are shaking things up regent wise, and we'll talk about this a little bit in a few minutes, but like the Doctor Strange 6 solicit at the end of this book also tells us that we're not done realm hopping, because Doctor Strange is going to be going to different realms, because powerful magical beings are being taken out again. But this time, we know Vyrbodin's locked away. So we must be introducing a different villainous force here, or maybe a character we've already met that is kind of doing their own thing. That'll be interesting to see how Derek Landy approaches more realms coming up, especially because we are shaking things up regent-wise and ruler-wise all across the 9 realms.
I would love to see more Angela. I think she makes a fantastic pair with Strange, because she plays the straight man, where she's like no nonsense, doesn't really understand the nuances of jokes or things like that. And Steven's been kind of hamming it up in a fun way. He's like, he doesn't take things too seriously. I mean, he is taking things seriously, but he's like not all that threatened, because he's got his new magic, and just his personality is a little bit more, hey, we're going to figure it out. You know,
and
we can
even
bend the rules a little bit. Yeah.
Like Vyrbodin's the same way. Like, he's like, yeah, you foiled my plans. Yeah, you saved the children. But like, I feel like we all got a little bit closer today. And isn't that what it's really all about? It's like, screw you, Vyrbodin. Why am I rooting for you? And Ryan, just to circle back on our chat from last week.
Great.
This is what a Malekith tier villain looks like. Not what we had before. Vyrbodin is killing it. He's so much fun. He is maniacal. He's magical. He's flamboyant. I love him.
Nobody remembers the other guy's name at this point.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the other Dark Elf guy's name was. Do you?
Dragthorn. Come on, man. Commander of the Dark Elves.
Dragthorn.
What compared to Vyrbodin? Like, I'm literally seeing people post on Reddit going, this new Thor villain's really cool. Actually, it's a Doctor Strange villain. I don't care. He's really cool. They need to use him in Thor. People love Vyrbodin. That is a very.
Are we headed towards a hot Vyrbodin summer? Because I feel like that would be a.
I mean, there is another swimsuit special coming out. There is a world where he's in it.
One of his scythe versions of himself, I'm sure, is in the swimsuit issue.
Yeah,
because
fair enough.
As all the different potential lives, every decision point to not wear a Vyrbodin Speedo, now there's one that does have one.
Didn't even think of it that way.
That's just science. That's just magical science.
That is just scythe magic. Eric's right. We can't
The
compete
scythe
with
science
that,
reads it this way, that there must be Vyrbodin. It doesn't.
there must
charcoal purple skin.
Maybe it's just because we want it. Maybe it's because it's meant to be. Who knows? We'll see.
So one other thing from this issue that my favorite part of it, and Faz, get ready to make fun of me for this. I like the ambiguity with which we are approaching the Riala Dark Daughter combo. We did not get a definite answer to what she is at this point. We see her fight Angela, but also punch out Vyrbodin. So a little bit of what we predicted, that she would be conflicted about it, but she also, in these moments of talking with Angela, you see her bring out emotion or reaction out of Angela, but she also doesn't really know what to do with herself at this point. So I want to see that more capitalized on going forward, and use her as a second tier, I guess, anti-hero, protagonist, point of view character in this series. It would be nice if we didn't just drop her story right now because it's at the end of the first arc. I want to see her, check in with her more. I think that story would be really compelling moving forward.
I'm not going to make fun of you for that at all. I agree. I think it's a really interesting thing they got going, and maybe she will end up ruling heaven when it's all said and done.
And I absolutely love the part where they just start the fight, and Riala goes, "I am both me and the other me, the Dark Daughter." And Angela, who's just thinking only in black and white, she goes, "Oh, I wish you hadn't said that." And she, because if there's any Dark Daughter in there, then she's going to be taken out.
It's also a very Odin's daughter thing to do. Like, oh, you just didn't, you had to, didn't you?
Force my hand.
The Odin family tree does not do well with shades of gray. They're just like,
nuance and maturity.
It's not their thing. Guys, any final thoughts about this issue before we get to the solicitation?
Oh, my final thought is the solicitation, so I'll happily pass. Other than that, great first arc. Let's keep the good times
Eric, any
rolling.
final thoughts on the issue?
The art slaps, as the kids say. The art's really good, and excited to be a ongoing Doctor Strange on my poll list. Keep it coming.
I agree with Eric. I do also believe the art slaps, and that was the sound of dozens of people silent. as old nerdy men say phrases from 5 years ago.
Okay, we aren't that old. We
are also not old.
Yeah. R.I.P. The slang word.
Oh my!
Where slang comes to die. White Guy Podcast. It's just time of death today. We can't use that word anymore. It's done.
Oh my god! Time of death today. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's read the solution. Solution. God damn it.
Salacious.
I would love to read the solution.
You would. The solicitation for Doctor Strange #6. Strange and Angela discover that someone is killing high-ranking magical beings across the 9 realms, and Stephen may be the next target. The sudden appearance of a mysterious portal leads Strange back to Midgard, where he's reunited with Clea and comes face to face with Earth's new Sorcerer Supreme, Wanda Maximoff. But is the killer targeting them now? So, pretty big promises in this solicitation. Eric, what do you think about the reveal that we're gonna see Clea and we're gonna see Wanda, and apparently Stephen gets to dip his toe back into Midgard?
Yeah, and he doesn't know anything that happened on Midgard after Doctor Doom. So he's going to be rapidly brought up to speed. And I don't know, is he going to try to just take the mantle back and just be like, all right, I'll have my, magic cloak and my title, if you please? Or is he going to say, hey, you know what? This is fantastic. You deserve to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Who knows?
Guys, what do you think about the solicitation? Because you said this was your final thought.
So it's so interesting because we know from the later solicitations that he's going back to Asgard. So he's not sticking around for too long. But like he knows who Thor is. And he knows who the Asgardians are. When he shows up on Midgard with a 7-foot tall angel, are they going to be like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Where have you been? What is going on? Or are they even going to know who he is? Because he was gone when the bridge fell. I don't know, but this might be, because the other ones are in July, right? This might be our actual time where we get an answer. Maybe all the magic users are just aware of everything, and it's just the like regular Avengers that have no idea what's going on.
You just blew my mind. He was on Asgard. What if Clea forgets who he is?
That's what I mean. There's like it could be a really tragic thing of like, I don't know who you are, buddy, but why don't you go get back with your angel and get going along? We don't want you here. And then he leaves to Asgard reluctantly instead of like, I've got a thing.
It could even on that note, similar to Eric, Paz, I hadn't even thought about that yet. That they might not even.
I know. I often bring things in there.
There could also be a case where Wanda and Clea don't remember who Steven is, and the reason he gets sent back to Asgard is they're like, this guy's popping out of portals. We don't know who he is. Let's throw him back into the portal, and then Wanda like closes it or something.
He's
like
a
that.
threat. Yeah.
Now, I would think that they don't want to upset the Doctor Strange fans too much, and by doing something like that, you would upset the Doctor Strange fans, right? If you really break his status quo without explaining the Thor stuff. So maybe they'll have some sort of primer in there, like a page where they explain this is what happened in Thor and this is why they don't remember him, or maybe they'll just remember him.
You can do a lot of things,
but they could very well, they could go crazy here, and you know, given how much they fit in a single issue, they could do any of those things, and I'm excited to find out what they're going to do.
Eric, I think we're going to need a minute to sit with that, actually.
This is why it was my final thought.
That was a great final thought.
It's a thing that I was like, man, this is, It's the Omnifascians coming out, guys. It's not always there, but sometimes.
Too provocative of a final thought. Now it's just making me, it's making me wonder, what are they not telling us? And what is Strange going to forget with this forgetfulness orb?
God,
they can do whatever they want.
Writes great comics.
Well,
I'm just so convinced. But everybody, I hope you enjoyed this review of Doctor Strange number 5. Lots of great stuff happening in the world of Doctor Strange. So if you look at these books and you're like, oh, that's not the Doctor Strange book I'm used to, I implore you, please do not judge this book by its cover, even though the covers are beautiful. Do not judge this book by
Judge this book by its cover and pick it up.
Please judge this book by the beautiful Alex Horley cover, and then go buy it. But Derek Landy's writing is worth the price of admission, and it is fun. It is complicated at times, but it's weaving a really fun story together. So if you want to check us out on social media, we have Instagram link in the notes. We also have Discord if you want to chat about these issues over there. And like Faz said during the issue, if you want to support the show at the next level, we do have our Patreon link in the episode notes as well. But those are all great ways to support the show, and you can like, share, subscribe, all those things. That would be a fantastic way to help more people be exposed to Thor and Thor adjacent comic book content here on YouTube. Again, it feels awesome to finally say this, and eventually, despite Faz's doubts, I will get this. I promise I will get this. I see the doubt in your face. He doesn't even look at me. It's just like, I'll believe it when I see it.
I can't look you in the eyes and lie to you, my guy. I love you too much.
Well, that got surprisingly touching at the end. So everybody, no matter what you're doing, no matter whether you are facing down a scythe army, you're facing down someone who is just ready to give up the fight, if you promise not to open up that magic ball of forgetfulness, if you're struggling to just remember things, like that's one thing I struggle with a lot, is memory stuff. So this issue really hit home for me. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're remembering, no matter what you're forgetting, we ask that you do one thing, and that is to stay worthy.